Ladies and gentlemen, so today we are finding the area of a triangle, okay? And so to start with, I want to give you the formula, and then I want to go over the steps, okay? So the the formula is going to be the area of the triangle equals base times height divided by 2, okay? And then your steps, there are the exact same steps as we had yesterday. Step 1, you write the formula every day, every time, write the formula. Step 2, you're going to plug in your numbers. And then step 3, you're going to solve it line by line, and you need to remember that variables are awkward, okay? So before we get into our math notes, I just want to show you something, okay? First, I'm going to go ahead and write the formula for a triangle. So area equals base times height divided by 2. All right. So if I were to cover up this divided by 2, touch your nose if you know what formula this is right here. Area equals base times height. Whisper to your neighbor what it is. What's the formula for? Okay, it's the formula to find what type of shape? A what? A parallelogram, okay? But actually, to find the area of a triangle, we're going to divide it by 2 at the end. So I want to show you something. So I have a triangle here, right? So we're going to find the area of a triangle today. And when we do that, I actually have 2 triangles here. They're the exact same triangle though, okay? So they stack really nicely, So I'm going to take these 2 triangles and I'm going to break them apart. And I'm going to turn one of them upside down, and then I'm going to piece them together. What shape did I just make?
A parallelogram.
Yeah, I just made a parallelogram. That's kind of cool, right? And so if you notice, in our formula, it's area equals base times height. So I'm going to find the area for this parallelogram. Then I'm going to divide it by 2, which means I'm going to take one of them away and be left with just the area of one triangle. Okay? So I think that sometimes that visualization kind of helps. We're going to come back to this after we solve a problem, but go ahead and pull out your math journals, and let's fill in a couple of things. Okay? So in your assignment today, you're going to be shown a triangle. You're going to be given what the base is, what the height is, and then in your math journal, they also kind of... Oh, in your math book. I'm so sorry. In your math book, they're also going to kind of do this dotted line, triangle, second triangle, so that they can show you that this is actually turning into a parallelogram. Okay, but we're actually trying to find the area of what today? Of what?
Triangle.
Of triangles, okay? And so just like what we did yesterday, I highly encourage you to write down the information you know, so that way you will be ready to solve it. So do I know what the area is yet?
No.
No, I don't know what it is. Do I know what my base is?
Yes.
What's my base?
6 inches.
Yeah, my base is 6 inches. Do I know what my height is?
Yes.
What's my height?
5 inches.
5 inches, good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take these, and I'm going to do my 3 steps to solve it. Step 1, every single day, every single time. What is step 1?
Write the formula.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Write the formula.
Write the formula. Every single day, every single time. That's what we want to do, is write the formula. So it's going to be A equals base times height divided by 2. This is the formula for finding a triangle, not a parallelogram, but a triangle. So step 1, I wrote the formula. Step 2, I'm going to plug in my numbers here. Okay? Do I know what my area equals yet?
No.
Nope, not yet. So I'm going to leave it as A. And then I'm going to write down equals. Do I know what my base is?
Yes.
What's my base?
6
6.
inches.
Good. Times, what's my height? 5. Good. And then we're going to divide it by 2. Okay? So now I'm ready to solve this. And order of operations tells me that multiplication and division, it can be done at the same time. I just work from left to right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to take it apart line by line, piece by piece. So I'm going to start with 6 times 5. Hey, what's 6 times 5?
30.
30. And, okay, and then I'm going to take 30 and divide it. Oh, and I didn't do anything with my divided by 2, so I'm just going to write divided by 2. Okay. So I'm going to take 30 and then divide it by 2. And what is 30 divided by 2?
15.
15. Yep. So here, my area is going to equal 15 what?
Inches
Squared. If you do not have the correct label, then it is incorrect and wrong. Okay? So that's the first part of our assignment today, is finding the area of triangles. Thumbs up if you will be able to write the formula, plug in the numbers, and then solve it. Good. Okay, so that's the first part of today's assignment. The second part of today's assignment is they're just going to provide you with what the area is, and the base, and the height, instead of drawing out the triangles for you. So there will be times when they just give you the base and the height, and then ask you to find the area, and then there will be other times when they actually give you the area and ask you to find one of the missing variables here. Okay, so I'm going to write this. We're going to rewrite this. And there are 3 ways that you can actually come to the correct answer. So I really need you guys to write down all 3 examples, okay? So I have a triangle here, and the area is 30 feet squared. And I'm not sure what my base is, but my height is 6 feet. Please do not look at it and just be like, it's 5, because it's not 5. I promise, okay? I need you to actually take the time and solve it. So step 1, every single time is what, friends?
Write the
formula. Yeah, write the formula. So let's go ahead and write the formula. So my formula is what? A equals base times height divided by 2. Tell your neighbor what the formula is again.
A equals base times height divided by 2.
All right, so I'm ready to plug in some numbers here. So my first number that I'm going to plug in is my area. So my area is 30. And then I'm going to set it equal to, do I know what B equals? No. And then I'm going to multiply it by 6 divided by 2. So here's the thing, friends. There are multiple ways that you can go about solving this. I'm going to show you all 3 ways. And when you are working on your assignment today, I want you to pick the way that makes the most sense, okay? So, we're going to ask ourselves the same questions every single time. Here is our story problem. Who's my awkward person? B. Who is hanging out with B? 6. And who else is hanging out with B? 2. Yeah, because they're both on the same side of the equal sign. So if they're both hanging out with B, then we want to make sure that we're solving for it, okay? So I actually have 2 people that are hanging out with B. But B is awkward and B wants to be left all alone. So I need to move the others away from B. So when my class looked at this, my class said, well, I actually want to move the 6 away. That makes sense in the mind of most of the Foxies. Move the 6 away. So we're going to ask ourselves, how are they hanging out? How are 6 and B hanging out? They're multiplying. What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide the right side by 6, and we're going to divide the left side by 6. When we divide the right side by 6, the 6's cancel out. And now I'm going to solve. 30 divided by 6 equals what? 5. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring down my equal sign. And then I'm going to bring down my B. Did I do anything with B yet?
No.
Nope. B is just awkward. Did I do anything with this division sign? No. Did I do anything with this 2? No. Nope, so I'm going to bring it down. Good. And then I'm going to ask myself the same questions again. Who is my awkward person? B. Who is hanging out with B? 2. How are they hanging out? They're dividing. What's the opposite of dividing? Multiplying. So let's multiply it by 2 on the right. Let's multiply it by 2 on the left. On the right, it'll cancel out. And then on the left, I'm going to actually solve it. 5 times 2 equals what? 10. So I'm left with 10 equals B. Okay? That is one way to solve it, but it is not the only way to solve it. So right next to it, we're going to do this again. Okay? So we're going to read step 1. We're going to write our formula. A equals base times height divided by 2. I'm going to plug in my numbers. 30 equals B times 6 divided by 2. Okay? So I'm going to ask myself the same questions all over again. Who's my awkward person? B. Who's hanging out with B?
6 and 2.
6 and 2. Well, in my first example, we moved 6 first, but let's move 2 first this time, okay? So, how are B and 2 hanging out together?
Dividing.
They're dividing, so what's the opposite of division?
Multiplying.
Multiplication, so I'm going to multiply the right side by 2, and then I'm going to multiply the left side by 2. The right side will cancel out. 30 times 2 equals what?
60.
60 equals B times 6. Then I'm going to ask myself the same questions again. Who's my awkward person?
B.
Who's hanging out with B?
6.
How are they hanging out?
Multiplying.
Multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication?
Dividing.
Dividing. So I'm going to divide the right side and the left side by 6. So what's 60 divided by 6?
10.
10. And then I'm left with just B because the 2 6's cancel out. So 10 equals B. Did I come up with the same answer?
Yeah.
So which way it was doing it correctly?
Both.
Both. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to show you one more way. So that way, when you are working on this assignment, you can pick which one makes the most sense to you. Okay? So we're going to do step 1, write out the formula. A equals base times height divided by 2. I'm going to plug in my numbers. Step 2, 30 equals B times 6 divided by 2. Okay. So now, friends, this is a story problem, okay? This is an equation. And so I'm going to look at this equation and I'm going to say, hey, is it a logical choice to combine my like terms of 6 and 2 here? Can I do 6 divided by 2? Yeah. Yes, I absolutely can. What is 6 divided by 2? 3. So I'm going to rewrite this as 30 equals B times 3. Is that allowed? Yes. Yes, it is. So now I'm going to ask myself, who's my awkward person?
B.
How are they hanging out?
Multiplying.
They're multiplying, and it's with 3. So what is the opposite of multiplication?
Dividing.
Dividing, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Okay. It cancels on the right. 30 divided by 3 equals what?
10.
10 equals B. Did I come up with the correct answer?
Yeah.
Yes. So my answer is that B is going to equal 10 what? 10 feet. So when you are working on today's assignment, pretty please, when they give you the area first, I want you to look at these 3 options, okay? There's option 1, option 2, option 3, and I want you to ask yourself, at this point right here, right after you plug in your numbers, what is my most logical choice? What do I want to do? And it's going to depend, guys. It's going to depend on what your other number is. Like if you have a 0 here and then you have a 5, that would be a great choice to move over. Or a 2 because it's even. So look at it and make a logical choice. Okay? This is what we are doing today, is we are working on solving for the area of what shape?
The triangle.
I'm sorry, the area of what?
Triangle.
Perfect. Once your journal matches mine, I need to open on the front of your desk. Thank you, Canner.